Good morning, everyone. Welcome to today's FDP program on behalf of St. Joseph College for Women, Ramanahalli, Mysuru. It's my pleasure to welcome our distinguished speaker, Dr. Suresh Nambudri, sir. With his vast experience in AI product development and interdisciplinary research, Sir will share valuable insight on do or die the imperative development AI irreplaceable competencies. Your experience and your expertise will undoubtedly enrich our discussion, sir. Once again, welcome you, sir. Over to you, sir. Over to you, sir.
I request Dr. Suresh Nambudiri sir to take over the session.
Hello? Hello?
Yes, sir, you are audible, sir.
Okay, fine. Okay, good morning to all.
Good morning, sir.
So, let us begin. Should we wait for some more time for more participants to join?
No, sir, you can start. They are joining, sir.
Okay, then a few more minutes we will wait because I need to start by telling something which is important for all.
Okay, sir, okay.
Okay, good morning to all. Now let us start. Uh, this faculty development program, this is very timely, and it is about artificial intelligence for pedagogy and for research. So what we had been discussing yesterday was about a very important uh, uh, very important topic. We know that last 3 years we have been working on generative artificial intelligence, and we have seen the pros and cons of it, and more than that we have seen some people getting good result out of generative AI, and some people are not able to get such a good result. I am a person with international connections, and I can tell you that the researchers and teachers in countries like US, France, UK, then China, Korea, Japan, Australia. In these countries, generative AI is used in a very different way, and the way in which we use here, this is a different type. That was the reason one of the faculty development programs I conduct all over India is the great AI divide. How or why the novice is getting very fundamental hallucinations and plagiarism from AI, and how or why experts are getting breakthroughs from the same generative AI tool. Means the tool is same, but the results are different. This is one of the key issues, whether you are a teacher, whether you are a researcher. This is the key issue. And unless we attack or unless we understand this key issue, we are only going to blame the large language model by saying that this is what I got. Then we cannot complain that our students are doing better than us. The points what I have explained to you yesterday as part of that great AI divide, if you follow them, you will definitely do much better than your students. And importantly, I want to tell a point. My job, with my years of experience, my job is not to come to you and tell something which is already there on YouTube, internet, or in the textbook, that even your students can do. You call your student and you give it as an assignment to explain how this particular AI tool is used. If you have 60 students in the class, you can tell each 60 students, they all will come and explain how one particular AI tool is used. For that, we don't need a faculty development program. Faculty development program is something which is actually going beyond what is visible, going beyond what is necessary, or going beyond what is not available. I am sitting here only with that purpose. Means I don't think that a faculty development program is to bring a list of AI tools like I was mentioning yesterday. If you want to do, use this tool. If you want to do, use this tool. You go to Reddit, you go to Instagram, you go to Facebook, you go to anywhere on internet, you will get it. You don't need a faculty development program for that. But what I explained to you yesterday, you won't see anywhere on internet, because this is coming through the real interaction experience with the researchers in China, with the researchers in Korea, with the researchers in New York and in Stanford. With that type of a connection, interaction, we get this type of information. This I am sharing with you. So please understand that particular point. And because it involves so much of intellectual property, whatever I explain, even though it is not there on internet or there on YouTube, it belongs to many other people. Therefore, I cannot give away the screens what you are seeing here. That is the reason I was telling you that please take screenshot or photographs. because what I show you here is part of some software, part of some software. These are all interactive learning software. So I am not able to share that because it is a somebody else's and including me intellectual property. Therefore I was speaking to ma'am yesterday, and I told that yesterday's program, if anyone required any screens, or if you want one more going through that, I am ready to do that, because it is very important. Each one of you, my objective here sitting with you is each one of you should be better in AI, in research and in pedagogy than your students, than your peers. That is the only way you can shine like a star in the classroom. If the students see that you are doing much lesser than them, then you know what is the consequence. There is a there is a verse. There is a verse. I forgot. It is, I think, uh, Nyaya Sutra of Gautama. It says, we learn only from a person whom we trust. We learn only from a person whom we trust. So one of the important thing is that through every action, through every conduct, a teacher should be trustworthy. If the teacher is not trustworthy, then we can't expect that the students will learn from them. This is a fact. This is a fact across the world. Therefore, that is what the main reason we need to understand how to use AI in an expert way, not in a novice way. Yesterday, I have shown how to do it and what are all the behavior pattern of a person who is taking a chat GPT like a novice, and what are all the behavior pattern of a person who is using chat GPT as an expert. So these two things are very important. I am please put it put it in the chat box. I am ready to repeat the key portions of our discussion yesterday, and which are the screens required. You can take a screenshot, and you can that take a photograph. And if anyone has got clarification, please write down my phone number. I am available. You can call me and ask, because when I attend a faculty development program, I am responsible. I feel it is my duty to clarify all doubts. I know that some of the faculty members will not be comfortable to ask questions online. They can always call me. So I am telling my phone number 967 367 0033. I will put this in the chat box here. So please let me know. Please let me know if I have to repeat the certain portions of yesterday, because if you could not understand it well, then we will start today's program. Today I am going to speak another very important thing, because all these things are currently very valuable and futuristic. Today my plan is to speak about AI irreplaceable competencies. Means how you can develop competencies in your students that cannot be replaced by AI. So please let me know what should I do. I can repeat yesterday's key screenshots and key programs, and then I can start today's plan. Please let me know from the chat box, and I request madam to take a decision on that, and please let me know.
Yes, sir. If anybody have a doubt, we'll let you know, sir. Sir, I think everyone are clear with your yesterday's session, sir.
Yes.
So please proceed with today's topic, sir.
Okay. So hope you can see my screen here.
Yes, sir.
Blue screen. Okay. Let me tell you the introduction of this. I mentioned a little of this yesterday that generative AI is taking away most of our jobs. The reason is the reason is the most of the work what we are doing here is in the lower levels of Bloom's taxonomy. You go to let me be very clear. Even a developer in Infosys or TCS or Accenture, they are not doing any work beyond second or third level of Bloom's taxonomy. Means they are only doing that understanding apply level of the cognitive domain of Bloom's taxonomy. And this is the one it is getting automated very fast. It is getting automated. It is getting replaced by generative AI. This is a very crucial point because I can understand many teachers are complacent. Many teachers think that it is not my job. But today, tomorrow, what is going to come? Actually, it has really shown the heat in campus placements. In this year, in for campus placement, you know what? Many of the NITs and the top engineering colleges and many of the management institutes, they all thrive because of some mass recruit.
Sir? Sir, is there any network issue? Dear participants, please hold on for a few minutes. Sir, having some network issues.
Sir,
So, dear participants, I hope you can hear me now.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
now I have a request. Last 5 minutes, actually, Avanti ma'am was telling that last 5 minutes you could not listen to me, but unknowingly I was speaking. So my request is, if any time if it is getting cut, please let me know. Please call me and inform, because I do not know exactly why this why this network is failing here, failing, because here there's a plan A and plan B. So we will go ahead with that. So what I had been telling so far was that we entered into an AI era. It is not for research alone, as we discussed yesterday. The main thing is societal and parental impact. That is about the employability. Any student coming to an institution, even though UGC, AICT, everybody says that you have to do research, but one thing, ultimately, we are all answerable to parents and society. Means we have to make our students valuable. So today we are going to speak about how to build that type of a capability. That type of a capability in an institution like yours. Because when someone sending their student, their children to your institution, they have got a hope that they are going to grow. So they are going to grow, they are going to be a productive element of the society, and they are going to become employable. So today let us see how is this AI coming and impacting, and how is the universities responding to that. It is a very recent study. Every faculty member should understand, and by the end of this program I am going to give you one solution that is going to be a very important thing for each one of you, because it will solve one of your major issue. I will tell you, for example, just 2 weeks ago, I received a call from a Dean Madam from Kerala Agricultural University, Thiruvananthapuram. I received a call. She was telling me, sir, I got 60 assignments in front of me. Students wrote and written, and all 60 are very good. All 60 assignments are perfect. Sir, what should I do? This is what the question means. It is very clear. All 60 students wrote this assignment making use of AI. And this AI, with this AI, what this teacher is supposed to deal, is supposed to do. This is what I am going to answer by the end of this particular program. Yesterday's program I ended with how you can become a different person while using AI, and how you can be the expert making breakthroughs through AI comparing to other people. So today my objective here by end of this program is I am going to give you certain AI prompts, so that with those AI prompts you can create assignments that no student can use with the AI. So that is what I am going to give you today. But before that, you please understand what is the real seriousness and how lightly we are taking it, and whether the way in which we are approaching it, whether it is correct, or whether do you think that it is going to solve the problem. And then by tweaking this by tweaking the existing thing, how we can create good students with the capabilities to go beyond generative artificial intelligence. Okay, let us start from here. So I remind every one of you once again, if this connection goes, please, you have my number with me now. So you please call me and tell that line is broken, because it is beyond my control.
Yes, sir. Sure, sir.
So, in November 2022, generative AI surged forth as a seismic force. Why I tell seismic force? It is like that. It is going to affect, it is affecting whatever we do. Revealing electricity, automobile, and the internet. Redefining how we dream, create, and exist. This alchemy of code and creativity, you have to understand this is an alchemy of code and creativity, weaves vision once confined to human minds, challenging the boundaries of artistry, labor, and imagination itself. This is one of the, I can say like that, this is one of the most important inventions happened in human race. And a senior citizen like me, I really feel proud that I am able to live and see this. Let me tell you another important point also, that I feel I gained about 15 years more to my life, because the type of the things I do now, the type of the things I plan to do, and it is so satisfying that I am sure that I would not have done those things without generative AI. So if this is what my opinion, you are all sitting there will be much younger to me. Now in that proportionate, you can see that how many years actually you are going to gain, because we are all knowledge workers. So how much we are going to gain, please understand from that point of view. So generative AI is a very important thing, and you cannot miss this bus, because if you miss, it is going to be disastrous. Then let me tell a point that till generative AI, there was a line drawn between computer people, non-computer people who can code, people who cannot code. People who can code, they used to be the emperors of that particular technological world. And people who cannot code, especially when people from various engineering fields like mechanical, chemical, electrical, etc., they are not exposed to that type of a computer coding. Similarly, the language teachers, social science teachers, commerce teachers, and pure science teachers, they were not exposed to coding or that type of an information technology. Now that Berlin Wall is collapsed, there is no superiority for a person who can code. If you are a teacher of Hindi or biology, why I am singling out Hindi and biology, because they are very unlikely to enter into coding and software, or to some extent they will be really afraid of the coding, computer, etc. Now this is the heyday for them. Now it is not the time for people with the coding experience. Now it is a time for people with the creativity and idea. If you can explain what you want, as I was telling you yesterday, if you can explain what you want in English, means without a communication gap, if you can explain that, that is going to become reality, because coding is actually taken care by the large language model. Coding is no longer a monopoly. Coding is no longer a big strength in employability or doing anything what you want to do. Therefore, generative AI, my request to each one of you is that whichever subject you teach, you become very good in generative AI. Like the clever methodology I told you yesterday, clever methodology. And the methodologies I used yesterday to show that how to become an expert AI user, developing breakthrough results from generative AI. As I was telling you one more thing yesterday, that Steve Jobs is a co-founder of Apple Computer, and he is considered the most creative CEO the world has ever seen. His definition, that is the definition about creativity by the most creative person, is that creativity is nothing but rearranging what we already know. Means whatever you see creativity, whether it's a creativity in a movie, or creativity in a technology thing, creativity thing in a poem, or creativity in a computer, these are all, just observe, they are all rearranging things. So generative AI, if you can understand prompting very well, generative AI is very good in rearranging things. So when when you learn how to do this rearranging, then you are launching yourself into another orbit. Why another orbit? I was telling you example yesterday. ChatGPT alone, if you compare that to a physical library, that library is 1 kilometer wide and about 50 kilometers long. That type of a libraries things are under your command. With your prompting, you can drill deep. You can go to any shelf of the library, take something from here, something from here, something from here. You can rearrange it, recombine it, reintegrate it. Take something, take one portion of this thing and one portion of this, and therefore these are all very important for creativity. So I am going to speak in such a situation. Where are our employability? Because I have seen many lecturers, professors from aided colleges. They are all complacent. They are complacent in the sense, I have got a stable job, now rest of the thing I am not concerned. Actually, that is not. We all have a moral responsibility. I am a senior citizen. Why am I sitting here and speaking to you? It is because I think I have got a moral responsibility. Of as long as we live, we have got that responsibility, a commitment to the next generation, a commitment to the society, commitment to the country, commitment to the parents who live in various parts of various parts of the country. Therefore, the key issue here is how are we going to handle this particular earthquake type of AI situation. Let us see this one by one. This is what I read from Reddit a few weeks ago. College is a clown show now. Students use boards to write papers. Professors use boards to grade them. Nobody is reading a damn thing. Within 2 months, 90% of students were using AI. And now teachers are hooked too. One girl switched to schools after finding out her feedback came from ChatGPT. Another class turned into a bot versus bot. You write something from board and you get something from board. Mind game. The result, a generation that can't think, just to prompt. I don't agree with the author's last line, last two words, because good prompting requires thinking. So I can say like that, a generation that can't think, if they are going to that, yesterday we were speaking about a term called intellectual atrophy. Intellectual atrophy means we are getting mentally retarded. We are offloading the thinking portion. Therefore, we fail to think. It is exactly what we see with the calculators now. Calculators in the sense, even for going a grocery shop, for calculating everything, we take our phone and do the calculation. For one generation before, people would have done it mentally. But anyway, with that, if you are going for a skill migration, if you are going to take another set of skills while losing this skill, it is okay, because then you are migrating the skill. But if you are offloading that capability without gaining something else, then that is a that is a catastrophe. Now let us go ahead from here. I will show you something. Now, this is based on an Indian Express news. This Indian Express news, it is based on a research. And I am showing this Indian Express news as a beginning because I went through that research and I spoke to many people. They are involved in this. So I thought that in this faculty development program, it is important for you to know what exactly happening around and how you are going to handle this particular situation. And in the end, I promise that I am going to give you a prompt, and with that prompt, you will be able to create assignments that your students cannot do with the AI. So here, this is the Indian Express News Class GPT. How AI is reshaping Indian campuses. You see, Class GPT. It is. This is generative AI in education. ChatGPT, does my answer sound human enough? As college students increasingly turn to generative AI tools for everything from assignments to assessments, teachers end up playing catch up. So we are speaking about that. This is a study conducted with 609 students of Delhi colleges were surveyed by the Center of Policy Research and Governance. Key findings from the report released in 2025. This is very recent, only 2 months ago. So this particular survey or this one, you can guess what it is. I need not spend much time on this. It is actually searching for frequently of use top users, who are the people using generative AI in the campus, impact of that, then student perceptions about this, and learning preferences and barriers. Means what are all the barriers for using generative AI? For example, frequency of use. 4 out of 10 use AI several times a week. 1 out of 4 uses AI daily. Top users. 4 out of 5 users use AI for research. 4 out of 5 use for writing. 3 out of 5 use AI to understand complex subjects. Now, impact of AI in campus. 2 out of 3 said AI improved time management. Means in the sense they saved time. 1 out of 3 said academic performance improved. 1 out of 3. 1 out of 2 said confidence in assessments went up. Means half people, 1 out of 2. Now, student perception. 1 out of 2 finds AI efficient for time management. You please understand this. Student perception. 1 out of 2 finds AI efficient for time management. That means they would have made that complete assignment from AI only. 3 out of 10 consider AI highly accurate. 3 out of 10 means only 30 percentage consider AI highly accurate. This you have to link with the one thing we had yesterday. Yesterday we had a study how a free flow AI give inaccuracy and a clever prompting giving it a most accurate thing. This is now you need to slowly you have to understand students are not spending any time to learn AI. As I was telling you yesterday, that no one learned how to use Google, even though they use Google every day. Even for many people, especially researchers, their life is depending on Google. But very few put a real effort to understand how to use Google. In the similar way, people think that they are born with the ability to use a chat GPT, and almost in the Google style they started. So students all get some results in this way. If a student is getting assignment written correctly, assignments correctly, because they are able to put the real question there for ChatGPT. So they are not actually spending much time to understand how to use ChatGPT. So let us come slowly to that one. 1 out of 2 sees AI as a helpful supplement, that is learning preferences. 1 out of 2 prefers traditional methods for deeper engagement. These are all coming with the wrong approaches of generative AI, because they are not using the best practices. What are the barriers? Internet access, device shortages, lack of awareness. So now let us see what are all the key concerns of academicians. Yesterday we have discussed what are all the main concerns of academicians in the case of research, and there were 8 points there, and we discussed them regarding those concerns with the books, Google search, and for generative AI. But when it is coming to academician, when it is coming to learning, teaching, learning. Now that is what I am speaking about. I am telling 4 points here. These are the key concerns of academician. One, plagiarism epidemic. Generative AI fuels rampant plagiarism, undermining the academic integrity faculty strive to uphold. What we discussed yesterday we discussed that plagiarism coming from the people, novices using generative AI directly without any care, without any custom prompting. So second, learning erosion. Students using AI skip critical learning, producing shallow work that frustrates rigorous academic standards. Learning erosion. Students using AI skip critical learning, producing shallow work that frustrates rigorous academic standard. Now, let me tell you here a related point. We have studied many of the assignments given to students. Those assignments were not rigorous. Means if we are giving assignments from the bottommost levels of Bloom's taxonomy's cognitive domain, then it is very easy for students to get ready answers from ChatGPT. But if our questions are rigorous, it requires certain level of thinking, and it may not come even from the free versions of ChatGPT. Then the situation is entirely different. Now, third, journal overload. AI generated content floods journals, clogging peer review and diluting faculty's original research efforts. You know that. Four, curriculum obsolescence. Faculty's innovative curricula are rendered obsolete as students use AI to bypass creative challenges. This is very important because we change syllabuses only with a frequency 2 years, 3 years, etc. But from generative AI, especially with the Grok and Gemini and all, you will get even something which happened 2 hours before. Our all faculty's preparation and what are the things coming from a syllabus, everything is getting overtaken by the innovations happening, or that immediate availability of new knowledge. Now, fifth one, assessment nightmare. AI's generic outputs make assessing students' true abilities nearly impossible. AI's generic outputs make assessing students' true abilities nearly impossible, exasperating academic evaluation. This is what I was telling you, that example of the Dean Madam from Kerala Agricultural University called me and asked, there are 60 assignments in front of me, all 60 are perfect. What should I do? So now let us go ahead from here. Now, these are all the true things happening in front of us. Now, let us see what our top universities are doing. There are various institutions with various moods. They are all implementing various things across India when it is coming to generative AI. Recently, some 2-3 months ago, I saw one particular notice from which university? Osmania University. They told that no use of generative AI declared. You cannot use. But at the same time, all Chinese universities are saying like that, use generative AI, and they are teaching them how to use it, how to use it so that you can get best results from that. That doesn't mean that Chinese universities are completely going for copying and plagiarism. No. Now, the latest in 2026, the breakthrough result from this university ranking is that 8 out of top 10 universities are from China. 8 out of 10 universities are from China. Harvard, Stanford, and all pushed below. The top universities are from China. And then where are we? Where are we? What are we protecting here? What are we controlling here? And whether we are taking salary and whether we are doing our work and doing it responsibly. These are all the real question parents will ask, society will ask. So, therefore, it is important for us to learn. It is important for us to implement that what exactly is required to face such a situation. Now, I am going to tell you five or six top universities or institutions here, how they are countering this. Then we will go ahead and see what can be done for that. Now let us see here. IIT Delhi, one of the premier institution in INI, Institution of National Importance. Just to see that what they are doing. They formed a committee in 2024 to decide how generative AI should be used in classroom, labs and exams without eroding academic integrity. Surveyed 427 students and 88 faculty members on AI usage. Recommended integrating AI and machine learning into all core curricula. Just imagine this. Just imagine this. We are continuing with our practice of teaching content, not method. We are teaching content, not method. Means, I will tell you an example. Our style is that when it is coming to mechanical engineering, we will teach about mechanical engineering, not mechanical engineering. When it is coming to Indian knowledge system, what we really teach is about Indian knowledge system, not Indian knowledge system. Because Indian knowledge system is not a content, it's a method. So, for example, I can teach somebody swimming, but that person won't swim. And you ask any tough questions to that person, that person will answer, but that won't swim. So here you see what is the meaning. IIT Delhi is recommending integrating AI and machine learning into all core curricula. Mandated disclosure of AI use and running workshop on responsible use. Proposed buying campus-wide premium licenses for equitable access. As we were talking yesterday, you gave the same tool to everyone, but the result what we are getting is based on human capability. You give same chisel and hammer to everyone. The sculpture everyone is making, it is going to be different. We teach ABCD up to Z and grammar with grammar to everyone. How many people will write a novel, poem, or something, a good text which can communicate something, and how many people do not? Ultimately, now there is a democratization of tools, but that is exposing the capability. I read the day before yesterday that our phone, our smartphone which we are having in our hand, that has the ability of a movie camera of 10 years ago. That capability is there on our phone. But how many of us are able to make a full feature film with that? Similarly, whatever Hollywood's top movie studios like a MGM or like this MGM or 20th Century Fox, whatever they had, the studio and editing capability, it is available for 250 rupees on Instagram. 250 rupees you pay on Instagram, you get all LUTs, all transition, all intersection, everything you are getting. Now we purchase it for 250 rupees. We have got a very good camera on our phone. Then what is preventing us from making making an Oscar level movie? This is what the place in which we see the human capabilities. So it is not that what we teach, whether we are building the human capabilities, that is the main issue. So here proposed buying campus-wide premium licenses for equitable access means they may buy ChatGPT plus to all, means that recommended rewriting plagiarism policies to reward honesty and punish submitting AI generated work without meaningful personal input. Now you can understand that how much it is implementable and how much people can use it. Now let us go further. Another university. This is Indian Institute of Management, Ranchi. They developed detailed evaluation rubric for faculty assessment with 4 levels: excellent, proficient, developing, and beginning. It they evaluate how well students integrate AI into problem solving. Now let us go to another one. It is Shivanadar University. You know that it belongs to the founder of HCL. It is one of the top private universities, Shivanadar University. In April 2025, they officially moved away from blanket bans and reactive policies around AI. At least they are saying no, not saying don't use AI. Created a 5 level generative AI assessment scale framework determining AI usage permissions in different academic contexts. Scale ranges from level 1 is prohibited, you should not use AI, to level 5 responsible autonomy, where students can use generative AI with the full disclosure. Now coming to Ashoka University, building AI literacy into curriculum with the foundation courses teaching students how to ask better questions and assess credibility of responses. Philosophy department offers course on the ethics of AI. Now just imagine in your institution, one department is offering in their ethics in philosophy, BA philosophy or MA philosophy course, they are giving an ethics of AI. What is the impact of that? Redesigning assignments to so students must show their thought process, not just give answers. If a student is smart enough, even they can get the thought process also from generative AI. ChatGPT will give the thought process also of whatever they copied. So then what is the change in that? What is the modification? Now let us go ahead. We are here to find the solution, not we are here to just tell. Now, these are all the things concerns academicians have. Means all academic related concerns about generative AI. Now just see this. What are all the concerns parents have? What are the concerns? What are the concerns that society has got, and how it is going to impact economy? So this is what I am going to say. Key concerns of parents, students, and society. First and foremost, AI has got mind mimicking threat. What is mind mimicking threat? AI has already built the capability to behave like our mind. I will see this. Generative AI's ability to perform complex tasks like sentiment analysis. For example, if I am taking something, okay, you take it. This difference AI can analyze now. Means sentiment analysis. It understood the two tones of mind and it can relate to the sentiment. Now, if it can understand my two thinking behind two tones, you can understand that when you are writing so much of comments on Facebook or on a newspaper or on Instagram, time wise, For example, I had a study after the Ahmedabad plane crash. I studied the sentiment analysis of comments for the next 24 hours. 24 based on time means the first 10 minutes, first 10, 15 minutes, 16 minutes, 20 minutes. How was the emotion of the people went around? What are the things they spoke? Then how it went on? I did with only with the ChatGPT prompting. I did the proper analysis for 24 hours how people behaved in a very different way. That's a very interesting. So similarly here, generative AI's ability to perform complex tasks like sentiment analysis and discretionary decision making. Discretionary decision making outstrips earlier automation confined to rule based repetitive work. See, as a product design specialist, I started using computers from 1989, and I started using the automation and artificial intelligence from 1994. Means I am a practitioner of artificial intelligence for long time. That was a traditional artificial intelligence. Now what we are dealing with is generative artificial intelligence. In traditional artificial intelligence, the basic thing is that if it is a rule based, that rule can be converted to an algorithm or a software program. Or if something is repetitive, if it is repetitive, that can be converted into a software or a program. So only in the case of rule based and repetitive work we could do the automation. But now with the sentiment analysis and discretionary decision making, what is discretionary decision making? You are giving marks to your students, and two students say 20. So say the two students, they got 41 marks each. 41 marks each out of 100. And you know that one student is coming from a very rich family. She comes every day in her own car. But you know that the second 41 marks girl, she is coming from a poor family. She is coming by the city bus, getting down there and walking here, and we don't even know whether she is having lunch. So this is the place in which you use your discretion. You are not going to see both of them in the same with the same eyes. Similarly, AI has acquired that discretionary analysis. That means almost some of the thing which we teach or which we say it is part of higher education is getting done with generative AI. That is the reason when it comes to MBA, one of the jobs which are going to get terribly hit is MBA. Because recently I was speaking to a vice chancellor. He told me that he conducted a study because they had some 7 MBA colleges. Last 5 years placement record means how many students, means what these students are actually doing. And when they did their study, they realized that almost 72 to 76% of their jobs are actually not needed in the case of generative AI. That is the type of the job loss is happening. So that is what parents are worried about, AI's mind mimicking threat and how it is going to affect the employment. Second point is that AI's any knowledge retrieval. If necessary, please take a photograph of this. AI is any knowledge retrieval. LLMs can ingest and reproduce any documented human expertise. This is the key word. Any documented human expertise. For example, in front of your college, on the wall, someone has written something, and someone has taken a photograph of that and put it on Instagram or Facebook. Then that also got digitized. That also got into some trained data of large language model. even that also is available for a person to create something. This is the danger. This is the danger part. AI is any knowledge retrieval, means any expertise of a human being. It may be my humming, or 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 it may be my scribbling, or I wrote something on LinkedIn. Anything can become a trained data, and this will make specialized skills widely available and reducing the exclusivity of professional training. Widely available and reducing the exclusivity of professional training. For example, if there is a heart surgeon, if that heart surgeon has got a certain trick of the trade, he or she knows exactly certain situation how to, but they kept as a secret about theirs. But at one particular point, maybe while speaking to somebody, or while writing something, they wrote it and it got digitized in some form. That particular expertise is becoming part of public domain, or it is getting secretly, it is getting trained with something. So where is that expertise then? Therefore, the human cognitive expertise is actually becoming a commodity. How, and this is what we need to understand. Our educational system here is speaking only about cognitive domain of Bloom's taxonomy, only speaking about that, and implementation coming only the lowest 2 or 3 levels of Bloom's taxonomy. At this point, we need to see that what China had been doing, what US had been doing, what France had been doing for the last so many years, almost decades or almost a century. This is what we need to understand here. We sit and we say, we are this, we are this. But when it is coming to real credentials, what we are doing, where do we stand? So, coming to the third one, that is AI, the custom scalability of AI. Generative AI's capacity to deploy sophisticated solution instantly across industries enables unprecedented automation of high skill roles. This is what another ability of generative AI means. There are many places we use high technology things, but I can tell generative AI to extract insight of something. Just to use this, you go to ChatGPT, you tell some very complex thing, and you tell ChatGPT to extract the insight. When you try ChatGPT, tell ChatGPT to extract the insight, it extracts what it is. I will tell you, for example, NATO, NATO, or one thing, NASA. You take NASA. NASA is a space research company. They launch space stations, and they are high technology. Even people think that whatever NASA invented and all. But you know what? Many of the NASA's inventions are in public domain. You take one of the technology and paste it into ChatGPT and tell that extract the insight from this and apply that in the way I make sambar. I'm telling you exactly. Extract the insight from this and apply it to the process of me making sambar in my kitchen. So it is within 30 seconds, you will get a different way of making sambar. So, this is a dangerous thing. Means you don't need a consultant, you don't need someone to explain. I was telling you yesterday, last 2.5 years, I didn't call, I'm a mechanical engineer. I didn't call even one computer repair person because I can get everything. I can get everything. Only thing, I should be able to define the problem exactly. So I will get the solution exactly. So this is what the custom scalability of AI that reduces lot of employment. Then fourth, education's obsolescence crisis. AI is continuous learning from global data streams, updates its capabilities faster than human education systems, rendering human education systems rendering traditional curricula outdated before implementation. This we explain. So fifth is creativity's AI takeover. AI's proficiency in replicating creative outputs like art of writing undermines the unique value of human innovation in education and work. Yesterday, I have explained to you that how to write a screenplay making use of AI means starting you can just say write something, then write a story, then you can bring more and more details into that and how to bring that controlled generation. So actually, this is what the parents are worried about this. Now, just compare this with what are all the academical worry. On left hand side, you are seeing key concerns of parents, students, and society. That is AI mind mimicking. Almost all cognitive work has gone. AI is any knowledge retrieval. There is no meaning of an expertise. Means just many people lived only because they had expertise. But now that expertise itself doesn't have a value. Custom scalability of AI. Some technology happening somewhere. You copy that one and you can implement it anywhere. Education's obsolescence crisis. People will in the end ask, why should I go to college? Then fifth one is creativity is AI takeover. AI's proficiency in replicating creative work. I know that many people they lost their job because people like logo design, people like a page layout. There are many people there. They all lost their job. There's no job. There is no job at all. In such a situation, when economy is collapsing and people are going any extent to make a living. What are we speaking in academics? Key concern plagiarism epidemic, learning erosion, journal overload, curriculum obsolescence, assessment nightmare. Actually, the institution should think and do something else. What are those something else we are going to speak now? One by one, we are going to speak about this. AI's mind mimicking threat. Generative AI's ability to perform complex tasks like sentiment analysis and discretionary decision making outstrips earlier automation confined to rule based repetitive work. So, what is a real threat? Complex cognitive task no longer a human monopoly. Means Bloom's taxonomy, there are 6 levels. Out of that, 5.5 level gone to AI. Even analysis and evaluation to certain level of creation has already gone to AI. There is no meaning of fighting against that because it is already taken over. I can tell you an example. See, when the car was invented and car got introduced in India for the first time, one thing came to our common sense is that there is no meaning of running against the car. We cannot tell that somebody, you drive the car, I will run against it. No, because car has taken over us in speed. Automobile has taken us on speed. That is what exactly happened with the generative AI now. Cognitive domain of Bloom's taxonomy is already taken over by generative AI. For telling this, I am a messenger, and we Indians, we have got a habit of shooting the messenger. But My request is that please don't do it, because that energy you have to use to think about this. How to how to prevent it? Is it true? Okay, I will show you that one. How? Generative AI now performs sentiment analysis, discretionary decision making, and contextual reasoning. What is contextual reasoning? Our reasoning can change. Our reasoning can change based on context. For example, if somebody kills somebody, it's a crime. But if somebody kills somebody by proving that I had to kill that person for protecting myself, Indian Penal Code, I think now it is called Nyaya Samhita, BNS. The rules are different. It's a contextual reasoning. Capabilities that constitute the essential value proposition of professional education and the higher order thinking in Bloom's taxonomy. Means these are all the capabilities that constitute the essential value proposition. Why somebody comes to a higher order learning institution or higher education institution? Because we guarantee that, like a Reserve Bank of India governor guarantees, this is a paper of 500 rupees. If nobody is giving the value for 500 rupees, I will give. That is the guarantee written there. That is the guarantee written on in every 500 rupee note. If that guarantee is removed, it's only a printed paper. So similarly, here our higher education institutions guarantee is the graduate attributes. What are the real thing of graduate attributes? The sentiment analysis, discretionary decision making, contextual reasoning, etc. If you boil and take the cream of graduate attributes, it will come like this: proportion of professional education and the higher order thinking in Bloom's taxonomy. This capability isn't automation of routine tasks. This is the replication of human judgment, interpretation, and analytical reasoning that universities claimed as uniquely human domain. What are the things we thought we claim as human domain is taken away by AI. The cognitive functions that justified a management degree, an engineering qualification, a liberal arts education, all now executable by AI systems with superior speed and consistency. This is what the reality. Now you say how these universities are responding to that. IIT Delhi's approach. What they did, formed a committee, conducted surveys of 427 students and 88 faculty, recommended integrating AI into curricula and purchasing campus-wide premium license. And why it fails? IIT Delhi's, I will go fast, I will explain these things to you and then we will go a little fast, and because I have got many things to explain to you, and then I have to give you the prompts and explain how you can create AI irreplaceable, or how you can create AI irreplaceable students, and before that how you can create assignments that no AI can do. So why it fails? IIT Delhi's pedagogical response exemplifies what can be termed tool-level integration fallacy. The assumption that teaching students to use AI enhanced disciplinary tools addresses the fundamental challenge of human AI complementarity. This approach fails to recognize that AI has replicated not merely the tools but the underlying cognitive processes of design thinking. For example, IIT Delhi's one thing was that you write the assignment and tell what is your process of thinking. AI can do write that also, the process of thinking. So this approach fails to recognize that AI has replicated not merely the tools but the underlying cognitive processes of design thinking, rendering graduates who compete with rather than complement artificial intelligence system. They compete and fail. Now, let me come to that one. What is really gap in this? Our approach and reality. Process management without cognitive strategy. Universities respond to AI superior thinking capabilities with usage protocols and academic integrity policies while completely failing to identify what mental capabilities will ensure student survival when machines outperform human cognition across all professional domains. Second thing is articulation crisis. The first point I will tell you this process management without cognitive strategy. For example, if I tell you an example, suppose there is a bus driver. Suppose there's a bus driver. See, many universities and many colleges, what they are doing is that they are thinking they teach AI tools to the students so that they are AI literate. That is actually suicidal. That is actually suicidal because AI is not like the previous technologies. AI, in the case of trigonometry, if a student has to really compete with the world with the knowledge of trigonometry, the student has to learn trigonometry. If the student has to compete with the world that is very good in Python, then the student should learn Python. But in the case of generative AI, it is actually reverse. Generative AI is actually taking away itself, taking away that itself. Means, I will tell you an example. Suppose a bus driver, we are telling that bus driver, you learn this AI tool, it will help you to drive through the crowd. You learn this AI tool. This AI tool will help you to speak with the passengers. You learn this AI tool so that based on the student or based on who is on the road, it will customize the horn. You can tell everything to him that when you learn this AI tool. But what is actually happening is that bus is becoming driverless. When the bus is becoming driverless, what is the meaning of teaching the driver all this AI tool? Because if something can be made to an AI tool, if that AI tool immediately can become an agent, and with that agent, first thing is that the human being is not required. The human being is not required. So when this is the challenge from AI, see one thing, I am this. You are one of the very few institutions. I am taking this particular point because these are all collected from the various parts of the world. This is the real threat happening with the AI, and what we have to do for overcoming this thing. We are living in a country with 60% of youth, and this youth needs employability, and instead of increasing employability, they are going to get fired. And our education system taught them over decades only the first two levels of Bloom's taxonomy. Even though everyone blames Lord Macaulay, but everyone practices Lord Macaulay because the thinking which is there inside, it is coming from their own education. That is part of Lord Macaulay, and later on, what they learned is only to blame Macaulay. They never put any effort by seeing that what is actually Macaulay's issue and what was the real issue, and whether we are changing that one in the ground level in our educational system. Therefore, what happens is that teaching AI tool is not a solution it is not going to make anyone AI literate, and it is actually to demotivate by student that if this can be done with the AI, then you are not required to do that work itself. So training students for cognitive defeat means if we are teaching in this way, we are actually training our students for cognitive defeat. Means it is something like a running against the car. I am not going to run because I know that I cannot win that particular game. Similarly, competing generative AI in the cognitive domain of Bloom's taxonomy is exactly like running against the car. So professional obsolescence pipeline. Universities produce professionals for professions that no longer require human cognition. Continuing education programs that develop skills AI has already mastered while remaining blind to what cognitive territory humans might still claim. Because see for example, Tata Motors. Tata Motors has got all repository of all the customer complaints and all the responses. So it is there in millions. So when it is put it in millions with this type of large language models power and with this particular cognitive ability, almost everything can be answered without a human interaction. So here it is coming to existential theoretical vacuum. Higher education lacks any framework for irreplaceable human intelligence in the AI age. Institutions cannot distinguish between teachable human cognitive advantages and AI replaceable mental processes, replicable mental processes. This is the key point. Institutions cannot distinguish between teachable human cognitive advantages and AI replicable mental processes, processing no vision for human intellectual relevance than machine dominate when the machines dominate cognitive work. 1 minute, sorry. Now I am coming to second, third, fourth. I will minimize it, but at least you understood that the AI onslaught is not something we think only in the educational academic side. It has got a big implication on employability. And when it comes to employability, it has got additional implications even in the educational sector. For example, I told you yesterday, in the last 2-3 years, more than 200 engineering colleges in Tamil Nadu, they didn't get any admission. It is not that engineering doesn't have demand. If we are going to shop and buying an engineering product, that shows there is a demand for engineering. Only thing is that some people sitting in China, they understood how to use engineering, and here we are only teaching about engineering. We are not teaching engineering. We are only teaching about engineering. I will tell you one classic example. Plastics. Plastic product design, plastic development is a mechanical engineering subject. You will have somebody who is into engineering. You just to go and check their syllabus. Is there plastic or not? Everything is plastic. Every engineering is plastic. It is not in the syllabus. Okay. Okay, now let us forget it. Coming to the second one. AI is any knowledge retrieval. That is, large language models can ingest and reproduce any documented human expertise, making specialized skill widely available and reducing the exclusivity of professional training. Classic example. Today, just half an hour before this program, I had a major issue with my computer. I was not able to get something. I only went to ChatGPT, clearly explained what it was. ChatGPT asked me, then I asked ChatGPT, if you have any question, ask me. Because I am putting that ball on ChatGPT's court, because I may not be giving all information to ChatGPT. It is exactly like when you go to a doctor, you explain everything from your part, but the doctor will ask some clarification question. So I asked ChatGPT, do you have any clarification question? ChatGPT asked me 2-3 questions. Then it has gone. Only thing, I had to go to some deep level. But being a mechanical engineering non-technical person, I could go there, I could do. What was this? About 4 years ago, I would have called someone, I would have paid 500 rupees for his basic visit, and I would have done something, and he would have told me something, and I would have paid something more to him. But one thing, now I didn't I didn't do anything. So this is a because it is documented by somebody somewhere. This is what the point I wanted to tell you. If something is written on the wall of your college, and if someone has taken a photograph, or it is part of a blogger's video when he or she was going, it happened to be on the side of the wall, it got digitized already. Such a thing, when it is there, expertise is actually becoming common commodity. So LLMs have absorbed humanity's entire documented intellectual heritage. I repeat, large language models, that is like a ChatGPT, Cloud, Gemini, etc., have absorbed humanity's entire documented intellectual heritage. Every peer-reviewed paper, dissertation, audio, video, images, and scholarly work ever digitized. This represents the complete dissolution of academia's fundamental premise that specialized knowledge requires institutional mediation. Means our colleges, we claim that if you want to have specialized knowledge, you have to come to our college. They have to study according to our syllabus. That is gone. That what distinguished universities for centuries, their role as exclusive repositories and transmitters of expertise, has been rendered obsolete. You know this one, edX. You know there are many, Stanford, there are many people, they give free of course, they give videos. Actually in front of our Swayam and all, those universities, and they are giving so much of information, they are giving free. But still, there was a problem. What was that problem? They delivered content, but interpretation required another level of skill. Now that is also getting smashed, because we can take it and we can ask for the interpretation of that. And if there is an one particular point you didn't understand something, you can specifically ask ChatGPT that what is this? I don't understand. Then ChatGPT will tell that. Then see one thing, my mother tongue is Malayalam. I can take that one particular portion, I can write it separately and tell that, no, still I don't understand this. Please explain to me this concept in Malayalam. So it will give. So therefore, any documented knowledge from any discipline, from any institution of any time is now instantly available and synthesizable by AI system. The key word is synthesize. You know what is synthesize? Synthesize is the topmost, it is equivalent to creation. In the first version of Bloom's taxonomy, synthesis was on the top. No, synthesis was on the fifth level. And then when we replaced it for revised Bloom's taxonomy, synthesizing is as part of creation, because synthesizing needs another level of work. We have to decide what are the things to synthesize, at what weightage and proportion to synthesize, with what objective to synthesize. We have to do that. Therefore, what distinguished universities for centuries, their role as exclusive repositories and transmitters of expertise, has been rendered obsolete. Any documented knowledge from any discipline, from any institution of any time, is now instantly available and synthesizable by AI system. Professional expertise becomes commoditized, reducing the value and demand of educational credentials and questioning the relevance of higher education. Now, I don't have time to explain, because I have to give another set of things to you. So let me tell you what is a devastating gap. Policing usage. You saw that many universities, they are policing usage without strategic vision. Universities focus on controlling AI usage through policies and protocols, while completely failing to identify what human capabilities students need when all documented expertise become instantly accessible to everyone, rendering traditional knowledge gatekeeping obsolete. I was telling an example of a 300 or 400 number IT company. in the beginning there are certain people required for scope analysis, for making the architecture and splitting it into modules, etc. And then in the end there are few people required for compiling it, testing it and delivering it. In between lies the major population of software engineers called developers. These developers, if there are 400 number project, there may be some 320, 330 people will be developers. This 330, 300 can go. We need only 30. So in such a situation, what educational institution is going to give us a parallel, give us an alternative? So here, universities focus on controlling AI usage through policies and protocols while completely failing to identify what human capabilities students need when all documented expertise become instantly accessible to everyone, rendering traditional knowledge gatekeeping obsolete. What universities or institutions are going to say. The fundamental value question. Not one institution can answer the critical question of what makes their graduates valuable when anyone can access specialized eh, expertise instantly. They cannot articulate why years of education matter when equivalent knowledge is immediately available through AI. Now we are planning about 3+1. That is, for the fourth year is research and all. In such a situation, even we cannot justify why 3 years are required. Then how we will go and justify how for 4 years are required? Because we need to make some modification. Competitiveness without knowledge scarcity. Universities cannot specify what superior skills justify expensive time intensive education when the same expertise is instantly obtainable, offering no framework for human intellectual advantage. These are the thing. Now I am not going to go for the 3, 4 and 5. You got the gist of the thing. Means there is a very big threat. And what are the things institutions think? That is actually not enough. For example, see this. Means we are only speaking about when AI wave comes, we are only speaking about teaching AI and ML to all, disclosure of AI use, rewrite plagiarism policies, new rubric, reward honesty. And at the same time, the mismatch between AI threat and university responded. The Indian Express report and the CSIR study and other ground level surveys research reveal institutional responses that are not merely inadequate, they are dangerously naive. Dangerously naive. If you see that, what are the dangers we are going to face? Please don't think that I am exaggerating. You can go and see that there is a medical educational journal called The Lancet. The Lancet is world's one of the top medical journal. Recently, Lancet had one study. It says that the age group 18 to 29 maximum suicides are happening in India, and most of the suicides are related to their unemployment. They're not able to get a degree, or that is a dissatisfaction. 60,000. And the same magazine, they have given one particular pyramid called suicide pyramid. You know what is meant by suicide pyramid? I think whoever is in psychology, they know that. Suicide pyramid means for every completed suicide, there are this many suicide thought people, attempted suicide. For every one attempted suicide, there is this many people living with the suicide thought. For these many people living with suicide thought, there are these many people, they are drug addicts or alcohol addicts. This is what they call it as suicide pyramid. You can search on internet. This is actually will happen when we are not able to, all things go and students start feeling that I am useless. I spent 4 years, means we have seen many students like that. They spend 4 years for mechanical engineering only to learn that I don't like mechanical engineering. So these many years, then what did they do? These are all the serious issues related to this, and how to contain this. These are all the major issues every faculty member should understand. So when we understand this particular thing, we will understand that how serious is our work, how seriously we have to approach. Each student sitting in the class, we have to see through their eyes and understand what are they thinking, where are they going. They may what they publicly explain, publicly demonstrate. That person is not that. Because of the teenage or because of the early 20s, they are actually trying to catch up with the gang. They are only catch up with the gang. But inside, they are somebody else. And when such a reality comes, actually that reality will hit. This is what we have seen in many campuses. I wanted to tell you that I have personally visited more than 270 campuses in India. Because I devoted my life into this, I developed many things for higher education, and I would have personally spoken to almost 37,000 people, stakeholders in this line. I am speaking to you with that experience. With that experience, I cannot come and teach you that take this AI tool to do that, because it is not my job. For that I told you earlier, teaching AI tools to you, you don't even need a faculty development program. You can tell one of your students to come and teach you or teach in the class. It is possible. So anyone who is coming and telling us faculty development program a menu of AI tools, I feel pity of them, because that is not the real issues what we face. What we face is a real issue. It is actually something like a life and death. Means we are actually building the life of some students. And nowadays our students are in, people who are coming to our institutions, they are in very bad situation. I think I mentioned a little thing yesterday. Almost everyone is coming from a nuclear family, and their father, by considering the inflation and the price increase, actually father and mother, they have to work for something, because there are many people, they have to think about tomorrow's food or this month's EMI, because that is the situation, and they have to travel for work. And if they are working with some private industry, there is no control on the timing, so that they are not in a situation to devote time for their children or child. And when I say that they don't have time to devote, there is one more thing, is that even they are the product of the same system. They don't have an extra reading. They don't have the articulation to influence their child by speaking about so many things, because they are the first thing, they don't have that particular extra reading, and the second thing is that they don't have that articulation. So when we say that school is that home is the first school, that school got closed for them. For them, that school is not there. So only school for them is the systematic school. That is our institutions. So when they come to our institution, actually this is their first school. So when this school is not giving what are the things required, required additionally, then they will go in different ways. And what are the things we made a mistake is that for higher education, we decided that we need only subject knowledge. We don't need any pedagogical excellence. Even now, only subject knowledge is encouraged. Pedagogical excellence is not encouraged. I really appreciate you sitting here and listening to me. And when I speak about pedagogical thing, otherwise, I will tell you. I have got personal experience. I don't know whether I explained I don't know whether I explained yesterday. I will tell you one example. In central India, one NIT, National Institute of Technology, they called me for giving a class for pedagogical excellence. Do you know how many lecturers came there? How many lecturers came there? They almost zero. Means there is no incentive for learning pedagogical excellence because what they count is only the number of paper. Then in the end, the director of that NIT, he told sorry to me, and then after 1.5 months they called me, and only one difference was that the director told whoever is attending this, they will get a certificate. When they told that this is a certificate, immediately the hall was full. Everybody got certificate. So this is what our approach to pedagogical excellence, and there is a very big mismatch between what we are thinking as AI's threat and what is the real AI threat. It requires another level of treatment. I am going to speak about that. What is that another level of treatment? I do not know how much you will be able to implement, but I can tell you one thing you can implement, because yesterday I was inquiring madam, okay, whether your institution is autonomous and how much you can do. If any of the faculty members you are sitting from there here from autonomous institutions, they can implement this. Otherwise, the rest of the faculty members, this you can use it in your assignments, so that you will make sure that your students will think. They cannot use it with the AI. They have to do something else. And what is that something else? I am going to speak to you. So I repeat here, the Indian Express report and other ground level surveys research reveal institutional responses that are not merely inadequate, they are dangerously naive when measured against the actual threat posed by generative AI. While universities deploy band-aid solution, I repeat, universities deploy band-aid solution like disclosure requirements and plagiarism detection. They remain oblivious to the fundamental nature of AI's assault. They are oblivious on human expertise and employability. So, this one you please take a photograph. This must be important. This is an important thing. The solution to generative AI lies outside generative AI. I was telling you just a few minutes ago that the solution to trigonometry is in trigonometry. Solution to .NET is in .NET. Solution to Python is in Python. That means if a student has to become good in a world of Python, the student has to learn Python. But in the case of generative AI, yes, if a student has to learn how to face a world with generative AI, what the students need to learn is not generative AI. The solution is lying outside of generative AI. So, this is the inadequacy. When a research terminology, we can show that this is the gap. This gap is how university responses crumble against AI's real threat. So, what we actually required is the image drawn on the right side. What is actually required? We want AI to bow down in front of our students. We want reframing the challenge beyond cognitive competition, avoiding the false competition. That is what the point number one. Don't compete where competition is of no use. Competing with the generative AI on cognitive side is no use. If you are going to give an assignment which is actually completely cognitive, that assignment will be done by the student with the AI. You cannot do anything with that. I repeat, if your assignment question is only from the cognitive domain of Bloom's taxonomy, then there is no solution. The student will chat GPT. Student may make some superficial changes. Student may make some superficial changes, but student is not going to. But the student is not going to do any thinking at all, because thinking will be done by ChatGPT. Then what to do? This is what here. Reframing the challenge beyond cognitive competition, avoiding the false competition, because humans can't win the thinking game. Like I cannot compete a car by running. So what is to be done? AI has claimed the cognitive territory, that is analysis, reasoning, decision making. Now, earlier we used to think that human value means superior thinking. We used to think that human value means superior thinking. When a machine can do the same superior thinking, then human value is no longer superior thinking. Human value is something else. So we have to build actually that human value. So the new paradigm is irreducible human domains operate on non-cognitive principles. Irreducible. You please, what is reduce? What is the meaning of reduce? Irreducible human domains operate on non-cognitive principles. This is what you all have the knowledge to understand this. Please take a photograph of this. This is what going to be the future. This is what actually you are going to say. You are going to create in an AI situation. That is new paradigm. Irreducible human domains operate on non-cognitive principles. Value creation through being human, not thinking better. It is like Salman Khan's being human, not thinking better. Means thinking better alone is not going to make a whole human. Focus shifts from cognitive competition to inherent human mechanisms. That is what it is going to say. Stop trying to outthink AI. Start leveraging what makes us irreducibly human. Now we are coming to something very, very interesting, very, very practical. Please go through this one. Identifying irreducible human domain. Now I will tell you this. Now for NAC accreditation, NIRF, now they started coming and asking, show the proof for using all three domains of Bloom's taxonomy. Earlier, they used to get satisfied only with the cognitive domain of Bloom's taxonomy. Now they started asking about all three domains of Bloom's taxonomy. Do you know why? Because human beings are not brain alone. Human beings are not brain. Human beings are not head. Head may think so many things which are not practical, which are not implementable. Then what is that all human? All human is 3H. That is head, heart and hand. Okay, this is only for the rhythmic sake we put 3H. That is head, heart, and hand. But what there is a big philosophy behind that. If we have to become whole human, that is the only way we can challenge generative AI. But in our system, we are not giving the any training or anything to become this 3H. Even when on Bloom's cognitive domain of Bloom's taxonomy, when our question papers are only in the first two levels or sometimes to the third level of Bloom's taxonomy, many of the questions I have seen from various institutions, people think about create are just in the apply level. People think about evaluation, analysis, etc. just in the remembering, just in the understanding level. People use Bloom's taxonomy as a means for setting question paper. Even for setting that question paper, people use only the Bloom words, Bloom verbs. Even the Bloom verbs, they fail to think that various levels can have the same Bloom verb, but based on the context, that interpretation of that verb will change. So there are many people, they think that if they use the Bloom verb from that and embed that in a question, it will become that level of Bloom's taxonomy question. And the most important or the tragedy is we treat Bloom's taxonomy as a tool for setting question paper. Everywhere else in the world, they treat Bloom's taxonomy as a level of competency. It's a level of attainment. I will speak about that more tomorrow, but I am going to speak about this here. The only solution to compete with generative AI to make our students 3H, that is head, heart, and hand. For everything, for every domain, there are people, they are thinking that in my domain it is only cognitive, there is nothing. But even if you are teaching Kannada, Malayalam, Hindi, Marathi, Telugu, there is requirement of 3H. When you are thinking about applied Kannada, applied Tulu, then immediately it comes psychomotor domain in that. What you are seeing in the TV, what you are seeing there in the, what you are seeing in podcast, what you are seeing in newspaper, all these things, what is this in applied Kannada? So there is a psychomotor domain. You know, only in India, I have traveled to 22 countries and I studied their systems. But I will tell you, only in India, we call psychomotor motor skill. There is nothing called motor skill. If there is a motor, that is only the electric motor and all. But when it is coming to skill, anything I do with the hand, it has got something coming from my head. That is what the psychomotor skill means. Every motor skill has got a cognitive link. Unless it is permitted by cognitive, unless it is controlled by affective, there is no good psychomotor things are going to come. If I smile at you without even knowing who you are, it will become a plastic smile. Even for that plastic smile means there is a signal coming from my brain and telling my lips to smile. Then it's a plastic smile. But when I see somebody where they are close to me and I got into a humor, I am really smiling. That smiling including affective domain. So that first is thinking about smile. This is a plastic smile is just giving that smile. But when I think about that context and thinking, that means Bloom's second domain is coming here. That is called affective domain. Affective domain is controlling emotion and value system. Emotion and value system. Therefore, the smile is becoming beautiful smile. So if you are going to use AI only with the cognitive, then you know what type of smile you will get. Therefore, to become a whole human, what is required is 3H. Means it is a head, heart, and hand. means hand can be any faculty, any limb of our body. So ultimately, becoming a whole human is becoming getting exposed and learning all three domains of Bloom's taxonomy. That is what NAC, NIRF, and all accreditation bodies are looking for now. That is what they are looking in National Educational Policy 2020. That is what they are looking in OBE. Tomorrow I am going to speak about OBE, what is the real OBE, and in that real OBE, you must prove 3H. That is head, heart, and hand. Therefore, this is what the important thing. There is nothing very new. I was talking about that Gara principle, that there is nothing new or different in this. You can create AI irreplaceable competencies with the graduate attributes and with this 3H linking all H of Bloom's taxonomy's three domains. So what I do is that now there are okay, ma'am, we are going to break it to 12:45 or 1 o'clock.
12:45, sir.
Okay, then we will stop it here, and if any participant has got any question, we can speak about that. Then I will continue after lunch, because it is little. I need a continuation for that.
Okay, sir. Okay, no problem. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for your informative session. We'll rejoin at 2 o'clock, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, everyone. Please kindly rejoin the session before or on 2 o'clock. Thank you.